I am so excited that you guys are here and joining us today. Today, I have an exciting guest who's going to be joining me, Laurent. And Laurent is part of a cool tool that he has developed called Schoolified. Now, if you guys haven't heard of Schoolified before, Schoolified is an amazing tool that allows you to hold group classes with ease. And today, Laurent's going to be sharing some of the new features that some of us have not seen with Schoolified. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome, Laurent. Thanks for joining us today.
And thanks for everyone who's listening now or will be listening later.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there were a lot of things that were missing. There was a limitation on the tool itself, which was just on tablets because we wanted handwriting recognition as a primary method. We've ported that all to browsers. So any browser can work. We can work on any browser. You don't need a specific app, even though the app is much better, kind of like Zoom, by the way, okay, or Google Meet or wherever tool you use. You can use a browser or you can use a dedicated app. And the dedicated app has more features. That's just the way it is. The other part is that we've built lots of different tools that we know where we had gaps. Okay, so scheduling and syncing to your calendar, like everybody probably uses Calendly or some kind of, I would say scheduling software that to avoid conflicts. We've built that in the system. Other things that we've built in is and thanks to this group, okay, we understand that getting payments and getting paid by parents is always a nightmare. You don't want to chase them. So you might be using a tutor bird with autopay, or you might be sending them whatever you want to do, okay? But I think one thing that came out is a lot of tutors out there are like, well, I still don't like to chase for money, right? It's still complicated. So we've built in something in the systems from the beginning, which is prepay. All classes on the system that are booked by parents are always prepay. The problem with prepay is that if you want an engagement for a long period, okay, you can't necessarily prepay 6 months, right? It can be complicated. So we've deployed payment in installment, which was a big gap. So, parents can book in advance, and then we have a whole system where it's autopay, but it's always prepaid. We're always are going to take the money before the class happens, and with reminders and all those things. Other features that are probably going to be released end of the week or next week is right now it's easy, and we understand a lot of tutors out there doing one-on-ones. So we can absolutely do one-on-ones in Schoolified. It's just like Zoom or Skype or Google Meet or whatever. It works exactly in the same way. Scheduling one-on-ones can also work, but it's always pre-scheduling. Yeah, and I think, if I can share my screen for a second, if that's okay. Let me just actually share something, because you talked in our intro about doing groups. Okay.
Yeah.
This is our focus, and the reason why we focus on groups is that's the only way to make a decent income. Let's face it. Okay. So we did this simple, very simple calculator that actually shows you. So maybe you don't want to go to that 120K. Okay. But we did something very basic, which shows by the numbers that if you want to make 120K tutoring, that's 38 hours per week at $65. So you can play around with this, okay? But if you started moving to groups, you would need 12 hours, okay? Now, this is entirely customizable.
I love it. I love to just see how you guys have grown over the last few months since we last connected. Amazing. And you guys, Schoolified is going to be at our next summit as well, July 15th to 17th. So make sure that you mark your calendars. It's going to be an amazing summit where you're going to get to be introduced to lots of different strategies for growing your tutoring business, marketing strategies, branding, so many amazing topics that you're not going to want to miss out. You're going to learn about, blogging and Instagram and all those wonderful resources and tools and lots and lots of stuff. So definitely come and save that on your calendar. And thank you so much, Laurent, for sharing where
Well, thanks,
Schoolified is
Jen,
at.
for having me.
You are welcome. And thank you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate you joining us, and we will see all